Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we serve, and Thee alone seeks for Thine help and aid. O Allah, guide us on the right path. Path of those upon whom Thou bestow Thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard Thy teachings. Say He, Allah is one God. Allah is He of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is He begotten, there is none like Him. And I bear witness and none deserve to be served, worship, to praise, besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Amen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters that sent us the greetings of Assalamu Alaikum. First, we have Brother Salim Bey from Oakland, California. We have Brother Calvin Shabazz from Atlanta, Georgia. We have Brother Mutaquan from Brother Mutaquan Ali from Philly. We have Brother Harvey from Virginia. We have Sister Badia Muhammad from Hawaii. We have Brother Abdul Ali from Tampa. We have Sister Patricia Muhammad from Chicago. We have Brother Michael Shabazz from Long Beach. And we have Brother Michael Shabazz from Gary, Indiana. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And I'd like to say, in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam, greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum. Today we want to continue with our talk on which one will survive the war of Armageddon. But in that today we want to talk about Elijah Muhammad did not have more than one wife. We want to talk about that today. We want to talk about that from the perspective of Muslims during the time of the messenger. Because just like how when you see the white man today, you had the white man during segregation and you had a white man during integration. The white man during integration is the fake white man. That's the white man that's going to sugarcoat and lie. You know, he going to say he like black people, he sympathized with our cause. That's the same as Muslims in this generation. They sympathize, they lie. Most of the time, Muslims in this generation are ashamed of the messenger. They can talk all that, most honorable Elijah Muhammad talk all they want to. But they're really ashamed of the messenger. They're ashamed of how strict the messenger was. So that's why in this generation you hear a Muslim say, we need to show the lost found that Muslims have fun too. Because they know the lost found having fun. Because the lost found doing what he want to do. And they feel like doing what you want to do is having fun. And we don't want to show the lost founds how strict the messenger really was. Because if we show the lost found how strict the messenger really was, this going to turn them away. So we don't want to do that. We want to show the lost found that we have fun too. Meaning they having fun. We don't want to show them how strict he was. We don't want to talk about how he had investigators coming to your house, checking to see if it was clean, looking in your refrigerator, looking to see if you got dust on top of the window sill, looking to see if you got clutter. Because if in the time of the messenger, if you had a dirty house, you could get time out the temple. That's the messenger. See, we don't want to talk about that. You know, Muslims now, they just going too far, you know. It wasn't that the messenger was strict. Muslims in this generation just going too far. But we want to see what Muslims was saying during the time of the messenger. Because Muslims was talking about accusing the messenger of having babies. They was talking about people slandering the messenger. Because when people was defending the messenger against Malcolm X, they wasn't just saying he was a hypocrite. They was saying he was a slanderer. The messenger taught us that a hypocrite is one who says he believes, then disbelieves. That's a hypocrite. A slanderer is somebody who lies on you. That's a slanderer. And that's what Muslims during the time of the messenger represented Malcolm as, a slanderer and a hypocrite. He wasn't just a hypocrite. And we want to use the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, because this is a picture of Muhammad Ali. And you see him holding up the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Because during the time of the messenger, Muslims said what the messenger said. It wasn't all this freestyling you see today. You see a Muslim who a minister would just get up behind the rostrum and start talking. He ain't got no message to the black man. He ain't got no fall of America. He ain't got the Muhammad Speaks. He ain't got nothing. He just freestyling. You know, showing everybody how wise he is, how well he know how the understanding of the messenger's teachings. But during the time of the messenger, you would see Muslims with the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, because you could teach from the cartoons. You could teach from what Islam has done for me. You can teach from the women in Islam. Islam in Tuskegee. You can teach from the messenger's article. You can teach from the cartoons on the front page. So Muslims used to get the Muhammad Speaks newspaper and teach from the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. And we see another picture. This is a picture of Malcolm X. This is Minister Lewis X of Boston. And we want to talk about Lewis X of Boston for a minute, because we don't mean to disrespect Lewis X, which is now Louis Farrakhan. We don't mean to disrespect him. We're not here to do that. We're not here to belittle him. We're not here to mock him. We're not here to do none of that. We're just simply here to tell the truth. All praises due to Allah. So we don't want his followers, if they happen to watch this video and think they need to, we trying to challenge you. No. We're just trying to represent the messenger the way the messenger was represented when he was alive. Yes. And Lewis X of Boston, his articles were featured articles in a Muhammad Speaks newspaper to defend him against Malcolm. That's just the facts. We're not trying to disrespect this brother. We ain't trying to belittle him, make jokes, make mockery, none of that. If the Muslims could take the Muhammad Speaks newspaper when the messenger was alive and talk about his articles when the messenger was alive to defend the messenger against these women and Malcolm X is hypocrisy, why can't we do that today? Why can't we use the same articles he was writing when the messenger was alive? Because he got his ministers who have articles in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper defending the messenger. But Lewis X of Boston, his articles were the featured articles, and he has several articles in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper defending the messenger against Malcolm. Them just the facts. So first we want to start with a cartoon, because Muslims in this generation, when they talk about the prophets, they want to say, when they defending the messenger, they'll say, well, how many wives did Prophet Muhammad have? To defend the messenger with this wives thing. Then they'll say, well, how many wives did Solomon have? But when the messenger was alive, they talked about the prophets too. Because they said, because in the teachings we taught that the messenger is to fulfill the prophets, and he was to go through what the prophets went through. But when the Muslims during the time of the messenger talked about the prophets, they was talking about how the prophets were slandered. They never mentioned about no prophets' wives to defend the messenger. This is a cartoon. It says, as it was said of us, so shall it be said of you. And you got Noah. And it says, accused of drunkenness. Then it got a picture of Lot. It says, accused of having relations with his daughters. Then it got Moses, accused by his sister. Then it has David, accused of Uriah's wife. It has Solomon, accused of bringing the downfall of his kingdom. And so on and so forth. Never did no Muslim, when they wrote their article talking about, well, how many wives did Prophet Muhammad have, trying to explain to you about the wives of the prophets. All praise is due to Allah. So why do that now? Then we want to go to the September 11th, 1964, Muhammad Speaks. And this is what the messenger said about these women. Because nobody never talks about what the messenger said about these women. Nor do they read the articles, because the biggest difference between Muslims during the time of the messenger and Muslims today, like I said earlier, they were just like how the white man was during segregation. They weren't ashamed to tell you that Malcolm was a hypocrite. They wasn't talking about, oh, you know, the messenger said leave Malcolm alone. No. When you read and listen to what Muslims were saying, they wasn't saying nothing close to that. They wasn't talking about the government killed Malcolm. You didn't hear Muslims say that. When the messenger It's a video on YouTube of the interview of the messenger. This was after Malcolm died. The interview is called Very Rare Interview of Messenger Elijah Muhammad. It's on the Muhammad Speaks YouTube page. They asked the messenger about Malcolm. The messenger said Allah had something to do with Malcolm's death. He said, you will learn this soon, that Allah had something to do with his death. He didn't say that the government killed Malcolm. He wasn't acting like, oh, I told the brothers to leave Malcolm alone. He didn't say that. He said Allah had something to do with his death. When we try to act like Malcolm X was just this good guy and he didn't do nothing wrong and, the Muslims, no. When you look at the history, but let's look at what the messenger said in the September 11, 1964, Muhammad Speaks. He said that night, he, meaning Malcolm, told Jerry Williams that he was doing everything he could and was trying to bring me into court and make me say that I was the father of Lucille and Evelyn's children. See, Malcolm was trying to get the messenger to go to court, and Evelyn and Lucille, the same sisters they got on this video talking about they're the wives of the messenger. They was trying to get the messenger to go to court to say that he said Evelyn and Lucille's children. He didn't say my children. He said that they are trying to force me to go to court to say that Evelyn and Lucille's children, or to say that I was the father of Evelyn and Lucille's children. He said he went back to these girls who used to date him before he married his present wife, Betty. So all these sisters who on stage, the messenger said they was Malcolm's girlfriends before he married Betty. Just the messenger. Then he said he had made several trips to Chicago and made many phone calls to Evelyn. He finally persuaded her to agree with him. He tried to get others on his side by calling them, but they refused to go into court for him to disgrace me after I have worked for 33 years trying to bring the knowledge of Islam and of the God, Allah, to the 22 million black people here in America. It's the messenger. So why we don't say that today? What's up with the wives? He also said, I will not acknowledge the hypocrites' charges against me by going and contending with them before my enemies. All praise is due to Allah. So the messenger said he wasn't even going to acknowledge the charges of the hypocrite. He didn't go spending a whole lot of time trying to explain to people the domestic life of the messenger. What's the domestic life of the messenger? That's not what black people use that kind of language talking about the domestic life. What is that? That's garbage. Now let's listen to, because there's so many articles you can use. But I like this brother, Minister Isaiah Karim, him and Sister Bernstein Muhammad. This brother said, and those two prostitutes who accused the messenger of getting babies should hang their heads in shame for the rest of their lives for putting out such lies on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This was Muslim during the time, but he said prostitutes. He wasn't tiptoeing through no tulips. And when you go and look at the history of Muslims, wasn't none of the Muslims tiptoeing through the tulips. They didn't care what you, go look at the interview of Malcolm X's daughter, who's old enough to remember seeing her father get killed. Because, I mean, that's hard luck to have your father the hypocrite. She don't know nothing about no hypocrite. She just knows she loved her father. So she remembered when her father was killed, and she remembered what Muslims was saying. Because Muslims was trying to come with this brother Malcolm stuff to her, like in the 90s. She was like, no, I don't want to hear that. She was like, because I remember seeing my father get killed. She said, I remember what Muslims used to tell me. She said they used to say that no good hypocrite got what he deserved. All praise is due to Allah. So we can play them games in this generation because we ashamed of the messenger talking about the messenger said leave Malcolm alone. Well, why would you say that to her daughters? To his daughters? They ain't had nothing to do with that. Let's go to Sister Bernstein, the last one, because there's a lot of stuff you can say. But we're going to go with Sister Bernstein Muhammad's and what she said. She said, naturally, the first thing such false leaders would do is strike out at his morals, meaning the messenger. She says they entice weak women to falsely accuse the messenger of fathering their children. They know that while they were working for the messenger, he was a man of the highest morals and the true messenger of God. They have stood before thousands and called him the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger of Allah, one they know deserves the highest respect and honor. Allah is with his messenger and shall destroy all hypocrites along with the devil. The Holy Quran says, nay, we hurl the truth against falsehood, and it knocks out its brains, and behold, falsehood doeth perish. Them was Muslims during the time of the messenger. They wasn't talking about all no wives. They didn't care nothing about what the lost found think. Muslims was Muslims back in the time of the messenger. And that's why I urge all Muslims to go read the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. All praise is due to Allah. Because if you want to know what a real Muslim think, what a real Muslim's attitude is, you got to read what the Muslims were saying during the time of the messenger. Just like with the white man. If you want to know what the white man feel about niggas, go read what he was saying through segregation. He said segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. But, brothers and sisters, I leave you as I came in the nation of Islam, greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Let's give Brother Minister Khalil another round of applause. He did real well. Real well, brother. I'd like to say, in the name of Allah, who came, the person of the Master Prophet Muhammad, the true and living God, we forever thank him. Great up in our midst, a divine leader, teaching God, and the person of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Almighty God, Allah, will be upon him. Truly grateful on his coming and leaving with us the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who's no longer with you and I in the physical form, that was given to him of Almighty God, Allah, who came in the person of the Master Prophet Muhammad, live with you and I, the believers. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to be bearing witness, bearing this day and time, bearing witness that there's no God but Allah, who came in the person of the Master Prophet Muhammad. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad was the last and greatest messenger. I like to say too, to back Brother Minister up, is that there was a thing back in the day where they did what the messenger had to explain, to clear up matters for the people. Is that, and the believers, that he said, if any man know my moral character, does this man do? Talking about Brother Benjamin. He talked that talk back there, but the messenger was highly moral. And his character, he exhibited and he proved it. And that's why he's honorable. He was given this title, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the last messenger of Allah. He was obedient to Allah. He carried out what Almighty God, Allah, gave him and missioned him to do. And he completed his mission. And he was successful in completing his mission. He was the end of all of the prophets. He was the seal of the prophets. Nobody coming after him, not now another messenger coming after him. He's rolled everything and rolled up. There's nothing coming but to execute the law against those who disbelieve and was disobedient to the messenger. This is the fall of America. And we had a messenger to teach us. And he left us everything that we need and to go as a nation of people. But lots of times we refuse to carry out instructions that was given to him from Almighty God, Allah, who came in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad, is carried out. There's too many other things that distracts us, that shouldn't distract us, because the rule and the law and the word has been given to the messenger, and we must obey his orders and instructions. Like I said before, we may not like it. It don't make any difference whether we like it. It said be, and it is. Allah said be, and it is, through his messenger. And it's an honor and a privilege to be a follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. It truly is. I'm grateful and I'm thankful on his coming and raising one from among you and teach and guide us. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We could talk about him all day, all night, because he's worthy of it. Praise be to Allah. Came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. He did his mission. He did his work. And he was successful. He said, up, you mighty nation, you can accomplish as you will. As we will. As long as we're obedient to what the messenger taught. This is the fall of America. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, and we can see it, brothers and sisters, today. He said that this today is a great time of separation of the righteous Muslims and the wicked white race. A great day of separation. So what am I saying? It's the great day of separation from his doing, from his world. Not just from doing his world. We have to separate ourselves from his world. We can't bring the old world into the new world, because the old world is going out and the new world is coming in. So this is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. So we have to leave the old things in the old world, the old way of life, the old way of doing things, the old way of acting. All this is going to have to stay in the old world, because the new world is going to be allowed in. Nothing in the old world can come into the new world. That means our attitudes from the old world can't come into the new world. We're going to have to be changed completely. All praise is due to Allah. He makes all things new. So we have a new way of thinking that's coming in, brothers and sisters. And if we don't think in the new way, we're going to be left in the old way. That's like you have to keep up with the modern times. If you don't keep up with the modern times, you're going to be left behind. And if you don't change our way of thinking, we're going to be left behind. It's the same thing. This is a new day coming in, the dawn of a new day, the spirit of a new life. This is what's coming in. And we all going to have to abide by it. You know better than me, and I'm no better than you. The messenger said, you stand up, your foot don't go all the way through the earth. No. All of us, we're going to have to be obedient to what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. See? What goes for you goes for me. I'm not above the law. Nobody's above the law. See? That goes for all of us. If you have something to say, I'm going to listen to what you have to say. And if I have something to say, like all the time, you sit and you listen. But I got a right just like you have. You have a right like I have. You're a believer like I have. If I can listen to you, I can listen to her. If I can listen to him, I can listen to him. I can't shut you off. I got to listen to what you got to say. If I'm going to listen to what you have to say, I have to listen to the other brother, what he got to say. Ain't no different from me and different for both of you. That's justice. Allah is merciful to you and I. See? Because truth will always prevail. It's going to come out. Wherever it is, truth in this day, it's going to root it out. No spook. It's the day of manifestation of defect. The thing is, the person have to realize that he or she is affected. And if you realize that you are affected with something, you work on it. But first of all, you have to admit it to yourself and admit it to Allah. When we go to say our prayers, we say, oh Allah, please forgive me my faults. You got to admit you have some faults. And if you don't admit it, you're in trouble. Because Allah knows. Prayer is one of the keys to our success. Sincere prayer is the key. Not just going through the motion. Sincere prayer is the key. That's why this civilizes us. It keeps one from away from indecency and evil. Prayer. So if we say in our prayers, then we have to follow it up with action. Yes. Not just say your prayers. Try to work on yourself and better yourself. We're always room for improvement. Always. I learned a thing. You learn a few things. I'm saying, You learn a few things in life. If you want to. If you open up your heart and your mind for understanding, Allah will bless you with the understanding. The reason why we don't be blessed with understanding because we close our heart and shut our eyes to the truth. But you can close your eyes to the truth all you want, but it's always knocking. Let me in. It's always knocking. It's always trying to give you a chance. You refuse to let it in. And when you refuse to let it in, the animosity and ignorance builds up within you and you explode up here. You don't reason. Pray be to Allah. You don't have no reasoning. Allah is not with you and me. You have to understand that we all have thoughts. And there's a law, there's a rule and regulations in any government. Any government. They have laws that the people have to abide by. The citizens of that country have to abide by. This is a nation. We have laws and rules that governs us, brothers and sisters. We have to abide by, whether we like it or not. You can get emotional. The message taught us by being, don't get too emotional. You find yourself in something, business that you ain't got no business in on the quiet because of emotion. I have did it and have battled with it. Emotion. You do things off emotion. You don't think because you let the emotion get a hold of you. And you do things and you say things that you really wouldn't say ordinary. And you really wouldn't do. That's emotional. But how you curb it? Being for real with yourself. It's the only way you're going to curb it. Being for real with yourself, accept the responsibility that you are out of order. That's how it goes. That's out of order. I'm thankful to Almighty God, Allah. I know I've been out of order. I wasn't trying. Emotion. Got to control your emotion. Didn't it say? Control your emotion. You have to control that. Just like anything else we have to control. Truth is truth. Truth hurts the guilty. The guilty is going to get you. Can't stand it. This is the fall of America. One nation falls, makes way for another. See it over and over. This is the nation of Islam under the guidance and leadership of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who is no longer with you and I in the physical form. But that what was given to him from Almighty God Allah, who came in the person of the Master Prophet Muhammad, lives with you and I, the believers. With the believers. Now, I ain't saying you and I, yeah. With the believers. Not the ones who say, I believe. Because Allah knows the believer. He knows the ones who's not sincere. He know it. Praise be to Allah. See? And then when we're not sincere, he will remove you and I. Then somebody else will come in and take your place. Somebody else will come in and take my place. If I'm not right, if it's willing to Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, we're going to say our prayers, oh Allah, please forgive me. Guide me on the right path. See? Not self-guided. Guide me on the right path. Then we take a foot, the step, on the right path. Then he will guide us on the right path. But we have to take some kind of responsibility. We don't just say our prayer and then just walk out and do what we want to do. No, you're not trying to do nothing. If you say your prayer, you walk out and try to better yourself in things that you do. That's how you walking in the right way. You know, we're very fortunate to be followers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, especially in this day and time, because he taught us that the white man is going to try to take as many to hell with him as he can. The old world's going out, the new world's coming in. Now, we say, well, I'm preparing for the future. The future with who? What are you preparing for? What future with who? With the devil? His time is up. This is the 7,000 years. We should be preparing for our future. We pray be to Allah. We should be preparing for our future. We should be trying to get some land. Some land, but we can grow our own food. That's what we should be preparing for the future. Not going sitting up by the white man in his world. His world is crumbling. the future for our world that's coming in. The new world of Islam, under the guidance and leadership of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings. He's there. This is his teachings going to get us in the new world. If we abide by it, those who are here after the power and authority of the white man's rule has been broken will see the hereafter. What do you think the hereafter is? What do we think the hereafter is? The hereafter means work. That's what hereafter is. Don't go get no. And you see, we get a wrong understanding that everything gonna be laid out, everything gonna be pretty. We ain't got to do nothing but sit back. No, that's the beginning of what? Work. That's the beginning of the work. Yeah, that's the hereafter. I'm gonna let you know. Ain't no like the white man said, you don't have to work no more. Sitting back eating grapes and they fanning you. Walking on these pearly streets and gates with gold. Yeah, we're in the hereafter. I want to get into the hereafter. Yeah, we get in the hereafter. Like Moses said, okay, it's the promised land. This man Pharaoh, huh? What? Pharaoh? I ain't doing this right with Pharaoh. No. Pharaoh just had you enslaved. You didn't want to do nothing for yourself. Just like the devil have our people enslaved. They don't want to do nothing for themselves. He gave him the ship. Man said, no, man, Pharaoh, I was all right with Pharaoh. You got to work now. You got to put some seeds in the ground. You got to dig up and plant your food. That's in the hereafter. That's the hereafter. So get the hereafter right. We don't get the hereafter wrong. A lot of us got the hereafter wrong. We think we just going to slide in there and everything all right. No, you have to build. We're going to have to plant food. We got to learn a new language. All that is in the hereafter. We're going to be given a new book. All that's in the hereafter. Those who hereafter the power and authority of the white man's rule have been broken. So let's don't get the hereafter wrong. I think we've been having the hereafter wrong. See? And as you said that, we can't bring nothing out of this world into the next world. So what are you preparing for the future? Whatever it is, you can't bring it in this world. No, and we gonna be spooky. See, we've been spooky a long time. And see, some of us still spooky. When you see this here, something like that, it won't be named a thing. You're gonna have all together different names. You see, like the chair, it's gonna be all together different names for the chair. Even our name that we have, it's gonna be a different name. Anyway, the name, if you got the name of the devil, you won't get it anyway. No names of no white folks coming in hereafter. There'll be a few probably around that Allah blessed to live because of their obedience to them and their faith. They won't be in the hereafter. They won't see the hereafter. They won't see the hereafter. These for black folks, not white folks. They won't enter the hereafter, and Allah will reward them for the work and the good that they did. But they won't see the hereafter. They won't even be in the hereafter. See, we won't see no more white folks. It's going to be like yourself. That's work time in the hereafter. So if we don't do work now, what makes you think you're going to make it to the hereafter? That means work. More work. We're going to have to work. Build. Right, live. Eat food. It'd be a different name for a car. Won't be a name a car if we have transportation, whatever it might be. It's not going to be a car. The message said it's going to be different. Everything going to be different. You can't bring nothing after destruction of this world. What, are you going to take, 1,000 years, 910 years to cool off? Something like that. See? So what are we going to do about the 910 years? We might not even be here. Still, it's going to be done because the messenger said it was going to be done. Where he get it from? Master Farad Muhammad. So he said for those who live in this time, see? And if we're obedient, messenger, some of his followers in the hereafter right now. Money, good homes, peace of mind and contentment, friendships and all the walks of life, peace and happiness. That's heaven. Peace, that's heaven. Peace and happiness, that's heaven. Praise be to Allah. We're very fortunate, brothers and sisters, to be followers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, especially in this day and time. I thank Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. really hot up here. You know, we're very fortunate that we had a messenger to teach us and to guide us. We should thank Allah, who came in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad, for blessing us with the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we should love each other. But we have to understand that we're building a nation. This is a nation. This is a government. And we have laws. We have rules and regulations that we should abide by. All of us. And it's our duty. And the duty of the civilized man is to teach civilization to the uncivilized. Because we know, we talked about it the other day, his brother, that our people is dead. They don't have a clue to what's going on. Because of what you see them do today. They don't have no kind of guidance. They're savage. And we know about savage because one time we were savage. We didn't have a knowledge of ourselves. We were lost. And we have to get it to them. But first of all, we must be civilized. And you can see that Musa had a hard time. He had a hard time to civilize the devil. Why? Because he was a savage. Savage means the person that has lost all the knowledge of themselves and who is living a beast life. And if we look around and we go and we see our people out there, they're savage. And they have to be taught. And we have to teach them. Who's going to teach them? Just think about that. Thank you. Bring it so long. Yeah. Woo. Sure appreciate that. That's part of it. Yeah, our people are savages by what they do. But see, the thing is, we're civilized. We have to go after them. We have to go after them. We have to take all our energy to get to dead. Because it's very important. Because we have to help save them. Just like the messenger, his teachings, had saved us so far. It's through his teachings that we're in the boat. But we have to stay in the boat. And how do we stay in the boat is by being obedient to the messenger, to his teachings. It's very important that we understand these things, brothers and sisters. This is the end. This is the end of the world. And now we're in judgment now. We're being judged. We're writing our book. This is when you say the book of deeds, we're writing our book, how we treat each other, how we treat our fellow man, how we treat brothers and sisters. We're writing our book, right or wrong. And I can't see it, you can't see it, it's in you. The one who's, each one of us is writing our book. And pray Allah that our good outweigh our bad. Because this is how it is. This is the balance now. All the time it's check and balance on what we do and how we treat each other. It's check and balance all the time. Everywhere we go, 24 hours, 23 and 1/4 hour a day, it's check and balance. We always checking ourselves to see, not to do nothing wrong. It's to do what is right. It's always a check and balance in that. And as long as our good outweigh our bad, we got a chance. See? But we have to understand and recognize our faults because we all have them. We all have faults. But Allah forgives us when we obedient to him. And I said 100 times, prayer is one of the keys to our success. And it's one of your keys to you as being a good, strong Muslim. Regardless of what the opposition, you're a good, strong Muslim. And you say your prayers to Almighty God Allah. And if our hearts are right, you're going to be successful. You're going to be successful. But if your heart, you got any little thing that's trying to put one over, you won't be successful. I won't be successful. Any little thing that you're trying to put over, or that we're trying to put over, or that we're not recognizing or not admitting it, won't do you no good. Because Allah sees, He knows what is hidden. And this is what we have to understand. This is where most of us make our mistakes. We don't respect the power of Allah. We don't respect the power of Allah, because when we go to Him in certain instances, when we do things, we're still shucking. It's still not there. We're still not going openly, wholeheartedly. We're still holding back something. He know it. He know what we hold back. Whatever it is, He know what we hold back. He know we're not sincere. He know we still playing the game. He know we still not openly sincere with it. See, and there's a penalty for it. Why? Because you disrespecting the power of Allah. We disrespect the power of Allah when we continue to do wrong. That's a disrespect to the God. Because one of His attributes is righteousness. He right. We have to be 100%, the messenger say. 100% to His law. This is how He got it. This is how, and why He said 100%. Because He know it's possible, because you can do it if you want to do it. If our hearts are right, you can get 100%. That's what you want. You want to be what? A righteous Muslim. It takes hard work, dedication, and obedience. And you become a righteous Muslim. When you're obedient to the law, rules, and regulations of Almighty God Allah, you don't have no in heart to your brother, your sister. You burn 100% right. You going on the road to success. You put yourself on the road to success. But you got to be 100%. Love for your black brother and sister, that's what you love for yourself. Do unto your black brother and sister that you would have done it to yourself. That's one of the keys. We have to learn how to do that. We have to learn how to love for your brother what you love for yourself. Love for your sister what you love for yourself. Don't do nothing to her that you wouldn't have done it to yourself. See? Don't do nothing to me if you don't want nothing done to you. Why would you want to do something to me and then you don't want to have it done to yourself? That's not fair. Why should I want to do something to you? I don't want you to doing it to me, so why should I do that? That's not fair. See? But Allah knows. He knows what's hidden. He sees and knows the unseen. See? He knows, and He'll bring it out. That's what He'll do. He'll bring it out. When He bring it out, everybody gonna see it, because He's gonna make you manifest. So, but He's merciful. Even myself, all of us, He brings it out. What's in us, what's hidden, what the naked eye can't see. But remember, He sees, because He has the power over all things. That's why He's the greatest, the Lord of all the worlds, Master Farad Muhammad, Mahdi, and He deserved to be obeyed. This is the thing. And when we start learning how to do that as a nation, respect the power of Allah. Because if there's a man, a God, can cut the atmosphere. He can cut off your breathing. He can make you hoop, jump through hoops. He can make you fall down and prostrate you and me. He can clog up your brain. Who you playing? Still devious. Still we want to be devious, misleading, mistrusting. Still we don't show love. You have to message say what? Love the brotherhood. Love thy brotherhood. Love the sisterhood. Why not? Why not love the brotherhood? Why not love the sisterhood? Why always trying to put one over? The message say, watch out for those smart, crooked deceivers who's always trying to put one over. When you are trying to put one over on you, I'm deceiving you. Or I'm trying to deceive you because I'm trying to put one over. The master said he wouldn't go for those. He don't go for that stuff. He didn't go for it. He said that. He know when we trying to put one over. So can you fool a Muslim? You can't fool no Muslim nowadays. You cannot fool a Muslim because they know when you're trying to put one over. A lot of them won't say nothing because they don't want to hurt your feelings or hurt my feelings. They don't try nothing because I don't know how you'll take it or how I take it. But you're not putting one over. We know the game. We know what's happening. We see. We know. If we don't, we should. And if we don't, we will. That's how Islam is. It's true. It brings out the things what's hidden in you and I. So we can't keep playing with the God. He is merciful, but he has a limit. We don't want to exceed it. Because I don't know when we exceed the limit. Only he knows. When you exceed it, and when you keep exceeding it, and I exceed it, well then that's punishment time then. And then we'll know. We'll know. And the message said this, you'll know when he take it off you. You know. Ain't that something? This is the God that we have. We should trust in our God. We should trust in Master Farad Muhammad. And what's ever hidden, brothers and sisters, he's going to bring it out. It's going to come out. Whatever it is, it's going to come out. And when it come out, it's going to be a new day. I'm confident. Because he's the Lord of the world. He bring it out. I'm trying to get myself in order. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, Almighty God, I'll bring it out. 'Cause I know you is anyway. But I want to do it voluntarily. I don't want to be forced out. No, I want to do it because I want to do it. You know, I want to do it because I respect and obey your power. I know if I don't do it, you'll spank me. Yeah, I know that. So I don't know how everybody else thinking. I respect his power. I know what he can do. See, I'm not going to challenge it by keep doing what I'm doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You know you're doing wrong. You keep doing it. You challenging the God. We're challenging the God when we don't do what's right. And we know what's right. We know what's right. I don't have to stand up here and tell you. You know if you're right or wrong. You know if you're doing something. I know if I'm doing something to you. I know if I'm doing something I don't have no business doing. Yeah, I know that. You know it too. Everything is real. I know you know we used to play that off. We can't play it off now. Because we know when we're right. When we're doing things right. When you're trying to be what is right. You know when you, other words, misusing your brother and your sister. You know that. You know when you done misuse your brother or misuse your sister or you done said something that you had no business saying. You think about it. You know it. But the thing is, what gets us? Pride. Pride. Proud. And I said we proud with nothing. We're so proud with nothing. We ain't got nothing, but we just proud. Pride. Iblis was proud. What happened to him? He was destroyed. See? We have all the prophecies. The messenger said. Of 100 years, 1,000 years, 6,000 years, we have all the prophecies. And they all said that America, this world, must be destroyed. They all said it. All the prophets, thousands of years ago. We got the Noah, we have all the brothers, members were saying Noah, Lot, Abraham, all of them. We have prophecies and histories of those people of that nation at that time. They were destroyed. See? And these our people, the master say today, the devil gonna take most of all our people with him. Because of fear and love for the devil. Our people love the devil. So why do you love the devil? Because the devil gives you nothing. We in love with him. See? He taught our people to eat the wrong food. All this thing. That's why they have what? The short span of life. Eating the wrong food. I'm not just saying physical food. Mental food. That destroys you too. See? So in other words, when we read Message to the Black Man or Fall of America, our Savior has arrived, how to eat to live, that's good mental food. That's good for the brain, for the mental thing, our mental capacity. It's good for it. See? So we're lost. You can go look at Message to the Black Man, you see some things. You will see some things that will amaze you and me. So we have to understand that we have a God on our side. And we have to respect the God. We have to respect him. And give and love for your black brothers and sisters that what you love for yourself. It's very important that we understand that. Very important. See, we say it. But do we actually carry it into practice? We say that, love for your brother and sister, that's what you love for yourself. But you can't see here. You can't see what's in my mind. You understand what I'm saying? You can't see what's in my mind. You can't even feel what's in my mind. See, you can't do that. Only me can feel that. Only me knows whether I'm being truthful or doing what is right toward my brother and toward my sister. See, I know it, but Allah knows it. He knows all. This is the thing, brothers and sisters, what we have to realize, that, in my conclusion, this is the thing. Because if we're not right or trying to get 100% to the law, we won't make it. Nope. We won't make it. That's the bottom line. 100%. So if we're trying to get 100% to being obedient to Allah, that means that we ain't got time to be messing around. We're trying to better ourselves. It takes work. So you're going to be real busy trying to develop yourself into being a good, straight, good, believing Muslim. That takes work. We have all kinds of obstacles and things in our way. All kinds of things, all kinds of trials that we go through. All this that we go through, we have it all. We always going through some trials. It makes us better. It makes some, it breaks some. Some of them can't stand it. Some of them can't take it. Some of them walk away from it. Some of them give up. Because when you give up, you're giving up Allah. So if you're right or I'm right, you're going to be the one in the long run. The master said, I didn't promise you no smooth going. He said that. He didn't promise you no smooth going. Even when we accept Islam, you're not promised no smooth going. The trial, the test is just beginning. That's because it's going to get all down the road, church. You got a long way. You got a lot of persecution and things that we have to go through to make ourselves worthy. Some of them say, oh man, I didn't know it was like that. I didn't know you had to go through all that, man. I can't handle that. They give up. You'll never let a disbeliever, a hypocrite, nobody run you out of the temple. What you let somebody run you out of the temple for? You right, they be gone. If you right, they gonna be gone. And if you wrong, you gonna be gone. That's justice. That's justice. If I wrong you, keep wronging you, I'm gonna get it in the end. That's Allah's just God. If I misuse you and constantly misuse you, I'm gonna get it. Allah gonna flip it and put it on you and me. If I got anything in my heart against you, whatever I have in my heart, listen closely. Whatever I have in my heart, He gonna reverse it and He gonna put it on you. And then you're gonna wonder why is things happening. If you just stop and think, look in the mirror. Everything we do to ourselves. Assalamu alaikum. Pray due to Allah. Yeah, Sister Zaki had to leave. She had to do something for me. She had to leave early. Man, it's hot.
Brother, sister, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, Thee alone do we serve, and Thee alone beseech for Thine help and aid. O Allah, guide us on the right path of those upon whom Thou bestow Thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard Thy teachings. Say He, Allah is one God. Allah is He of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is He begotten, there is none like Him. And I bear witness that none is ever to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, to treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.